Yo, what's cracking, everybody? It's your boy Big JD right here for some more of this PBR car talk with you. Alright, so everybody has to fight at some point in time in their life. Either you gotta fight for your life, you gotta fight to protect your family, you gotta fight to protect what you believe, what you stand for, all of that shit. Sometimes it just has to be done. So a lot of people are asking me about this upcoming fight, like, why am I doing it? Why am I biting into it? You know, all the rest of the stuff that I hear all the time. And you got to understand one thing about all of this shit. Well, regarding myself, one thing you have to understand about me is this. I'm relatively new when it comes to all this social media stuff and all of this, what goes on and everything, and how people communicate and how people get on and attack people, bully people, whatever it may be, troll people, whatnot. All that stuff is relatively new to me. And I gotta tell you, I mean, I'm from the old school. And usually from the old school, if you got something to say to somebody, you better be prepared to back it up when you're called upon it. I mean, it's just the way it goes. You know, and especially if you get called out and you have the ability to effectively carry it out, you know, sure, no harm, no foul. You could set something up in this day and age to, like, you know, safeguard you from prosecution or anything like that. I mean, if you're going to go find somebody, you're going to meet them in some back alley somewhere and just start beating the shit out of each other, start shooting and stabbing each other, well, then, yeah, you're probably going to have some legal problems. But if you could set it up in a way where it's just two men handling their disputes, whatever it may be, then, you know, why not? Before, in the past, they couldn't really do all that with the probation. I mean, they don't see it that way, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I've always stood up for what I believe in. And there's one thing that I do. I will always stand up for the people that I care about and everything like that. And I look at this whole thing as that I'm going to stand up for the people that I love. If people are getting harmed or hurt because of me, because I'm on here, because I have a presence somewhere in social media and it's causing other people grief, well then yeah, I'm going to stand up for them. It's just the way I roll. I've always rolled that way. I mean, even back in the day, we're talking way back in 96, I took a burglary beef for a big homie's nephew. Didn't know the guy really. I mean, I knew the nephew. Didn't know the big homie, but I knew the nephew. I've ran around the streets with him and shit like that. Did a lot of things with him, you know. He was a crimey in a lot of ways. You know, we were crime partners in a lot of different things. I didn't actually go with him on this particular burglary, but he got caught nonetheless. And it so happens I got caught with some of the shit that was from that burglary. So, I mean, word got back to me to take the rap to get him from getting a third strike. I took the beef. Simple as that. I didn't even ask no questions. I just did it. I mean, I've always been that way, man. I don't know why. Sometimes it kills me. Sometimes it fucks me. And at the end of the day, it's probably like I got some kind of a savior complex, but I do that. I mean, throwing out my story, my life of abuse and everything like that, things that happened to me when I was 14. I mean, I originally threw that story out there, not to make some money or to get some views or anything like that. I did that to intimate something about myself to all of yous, my viewers. Not only that, it was my hope that would cause an impact and create an environment for people to come in outward and openly share similar experiences so that they can know that they're not alone. I had this big plan all laid out for that, but it went totally the opposite direction. It turned into a bunch of mudslinging. Why? Not really because anybody believes it or doubts it or anything like that. Just because these people don't like me. They don't like the messenger. So that's just the way it goes. I mean, it's what I guess I signed up for, to come on here and act like a clown and talk shit and start beating up some of your role models and some of the people that you idolize and look up to, because I tried to model the Prison Break Raw channel on showing you the gritty and grimy side of life. I mean, the sides, it's not all fucking trees that grow gumdrops and it's not raining, you know, like Hershey's Kisses all day long. Because a lot of people live in this fantasy land, man. Like, it's like everything's all good, man. And there's so much wrong with what's going on. And there's so many people that smile in your face and they act like they care, but they're really just out for themselves. You know, somebody has to give that side of it. And I'm never going to knock somebody else for doing it themselves. And I never really did knock anybody for doing it against me. It's just like I said, when innocent people get in the crosshairs of anything that I'm doing or somebody else is doing, you have to address that shit. You just have to address it, and sometimes it may mean you got to fight for it. And I mean, I'm willing, like I said, win, lose, or draw. I've had my ass beat before. Everybody's had their ass beat. If they tell you they've never had their ass beat, then they're either fighting people that are physically incapable of fighting back. They're fighting people half their size. They're hitting them with weapons or whatever it is. Everybody loses a fight. It's just the way it goes, man. I mean, you either win or you lose. But the way I look at everything is like everything is a win-win opportunity for me. Because at the end of the day, right, you know, you got to look at the positives of all this stuff. What it could possibly accomplish. You know, not only that, nobody could say that I won't ever answer the door when somebody knocks at the door. Just like I've been saying all this time. Come knock at my door. You come knock at my door, I'm going to go out there and we're going to handle it. It's the way it is. I mean, whether you whoop my ass or not is irrelevant. I'm going to handle my business. That's the way a man should be in this world. Far too many people get all caught up in the social media of, oh, just pay no attention to anything and everything and who cares? You know, it's like the Flint water crisis. Nobody gave a shit about the Flint water crisis until, you know, except the people in Flint. Or until it was broadcast on the news, and still most people don't care that they're drinking lead over there. You know? I care. Because it sucks to have to see, you know, people that can't afford to move on or to move somewhere else are stuck in that environment, you know, because of their government and the way this government treats everybody. And everybody wants to take a side in this government, and they all hate you. Just know that. Everybody in the government hates you. They don't like you. They don't care about you. So it's like I try to be that person that gives you that perspective so that you know not to be able to depend on any of this shit, man. I mean, you got to basically, like, weigh people's, you know, pros and cons by their actions. And if they have all talk and no action going on, then basically they're the kind of person that you should expose as being not completely genuine. I've never had any other agenda on this channel other than that. Sometimes you got to fight, man. Sometimes when you're in prison, you're backed into a corner. You might be that guy that chose to like roll solo bolo or whatever like that. You're going to have to fight at some point in time. It's the way it goes. I have rarely seen a Solano, as some people in Texas call them. I have rarely ever seen a Solano move through the prison system without a scratch. Just doesn't happen. You're going to have to fight every now and then. You may get this government knocking at your door telling you to give them your guns. What are you going to do when they tell you to give them your guns? You going to give them the guns? You're going to fucking pull out the KY, slap a big fucking ball of lube up in your ass, and say, yeah, why don't you, you know, stick the tip in a little bit too while you're at it. It's the way it goes. You got to stand up for what you believe in. You got to stand up for yourself. You got to be that guy. I mean, every single day is a battle for me. Like I said, I work a very labor-intensive job. Some of you say that I sit on a forklift all day. I don't sit on a forklift. I drive around in a standing pallet jack all night. And lifting, pulling, stretching all night. Some shit up to 101 pounds. And sometimes you got to pick about 50 of those things. That's 50 reps that you're squatting 100 pounds. So you do the math. When you're doing that shit all night, it's hard on you, man. Fucking sometimes I get home on Friday on my day off. All I want to do is just sit there and stare at the wall because I'm so zoned out and tired. I mean, goddamn, I'm 47. I want people keep thinking I'm in my 20s or in my 30s. But yeah, every now and then you just got to stand up for what you believe in. You can't just constantly just keep sweeping everything under the rug and pretend like it doesn't exist. Every now and then, you must stand up for yourself. You must stand up for the people that you love. If you don't, you're a coward in my eyes. But every now and then, you have to stand up for what you believe in. It's just the way it goes. Just like Friday. I couldn't do the live Friday. I was out trying to set up this thing, and it went nowhere. I mean, it's pretty slow moving. Come Saturday, I was reminded of a promise that I made a long time ago to a guy, and I always carry out with my promises to the best of my ability. My ability was there, so I couldn't go live on Saturday. Sunday, I was so fucking drained out and tired, I didn't want to do nothing. It's just the way it goes. I mean, the way you gotta move in life. You just have to be that person. I always try to be that person to the best of my ability. You should do the same. See you in the next one.